Hey there everybody, mbrickz here with a LEGO Star Wars set review. This is set number 10188. It is, you know what it is. It's the Death Star with 24 or 25 minifigures, I believe. This is the 2008 version, which was originally $400. Now they re-released it in 2016, and that one goes for $500. Which with only 50 more pieces, and it's a straight up re-release. Like all the builds are pretty much the same. The main update is just in the figures, and it's like for 50 extra pieces, $100 extra definitely doesn't seem worth it. So I'm so happy that I got this when it was only $400 for the 2008 version. This has 3,803 pieces, but before we really get into everything, I just want to say that I have to give this set a lot of credit. Like, this was on the market for almost a decade, 8 years. This set was available for 8 years, from 2008 all the way until 2015. So 7 years, or I think 2016, either one. So 7 or 8 years. Now, this is the Death Star, but as you can see, it's not closed off. It's all open, so we'll get into it. But before we really get into this in-depthly, this is a in-depth review, we are going to be turning the whole thing. Give you a full spin of the thing, just nice and slow. Yep, and don't worry, we'll take a look at each of these figures separately in detail, each of these rooms separately, a lot of sub-assemblies separately, and we are back to the front. So I figured that we'd sort of start at the top. Okay, so starting with the floor directly above the super laser. What the guy wanted to note how these studs are showing. I wish they like tiled that out with those curved tile pieces to have a nice sort of slope, but you know, that's fine. But starting with this whole super laser room, scoot it back a bit. We have Grand Admiral Tarkin with moving him, a very built up spinning chair. It has 3 printed pieces on that, and it doesn't work so well in sitting him in. He can't go all the way in because it's rounded, so you really have to do this. But I think it's okay, but a simpler chair would have been, you know, better, I think, and then use the pieces for something else. But figures again at the end. But we have a little targeting board right here, and it's a play feature where you do this. Here we have a sticker showing them targeting the Rebel base, and on the other side we have Alderaan right before it's blown to bits by the Death Star. Spoiler alert for like a 60-year-old movie. Sorry, no, 50-ish, right? I'm not sure, but there's a play feature, and this is built up very much like the other chair. It's even open on this side with the 3 printed pieces at all. But the play feature is when you move this, the whole sort of Death Star laser moves. So has this much articulation, just a sort of axle that goes through the whole thing. And you can see already one thing that fell off. It's this. This always falls off, but that's a nice assembly right there, showing all the lasers. I think that does work out nicely. And then the dish is nice, how it's a nice circle and it connects to that. And there we go. It just fell again. Yeah, that thing I've seen always falls. A lot of other people say that too. And there's one last thing you can do with this. And it fell again. Sorry about that. But there's one last thing that you can do with this other than just rotating it from side to side. By turning this, you can make it go down. That's the most down it can go. It can't go any more down because of this floor that's blocking it. And then you can bring it back up just by turning this a bit. And yeah, so those are the whole movements. And then let's go this way because there's a doorway right there. Not much detailing there, though there are a few tiles and a grading piece in there, and a nice sticker here that I applied badly. I got this in like 2015. Yeah, 2015, the year that we heard the next one was coming. So anyway, we have 2 Stormtrooper helmets here on this little stand. Would have been nice to get those minifigure heads to put these on, but this is sort of the minifigure repair room, or droid, repair room. As you can see, we got some tools right over here on this rack, some more tools in here, handcuffs, some monitors and stuff, a nice piece here that they usually use with construction related stuff, a clip here, and then we got a little table right here, and a chair that is spun up, and again the super laser fell off. But here's a chair that spins, and this can be articulated. But we have C-3PO up here, and it's this which can hold him in like so. But that has a play feature which we'll look at later, where if you push this up, there's a knob, and I'll show you what that does later. And then we have this, I'll show you that at the end as well. So 2 play features. Now those are all things. Again, the super laser is just so long, I'll fix it later, but those are all things that happens inside the Death Star. This is something that happens outside. So there's a knob in the Emperor's room, and yep, you can move them, and they move together. And now there's another feature where they can be articulated different in 2 different ways. So just with this knob, one can go directly up and directly forward. And I think that is very smart. Like even in universe, that would be helpful, because TIE fighters tend to fly like this, one like behind it and a bit below. So this would work really well in my opinion. And you can see a little hole right there. I think that's for the mouse droid we'll look at later to come through. Have a Stormtrooper on guard there, some nice decorations. Here's where Darth Vader chokes one of his advisors in a meeting. We have 1, 2, how many are there? 7, yeah, 7 chairs that can all spin up. And this is an old set, so the pieces are getting a bit frictiony, so. But this table right here, this nice round table, just pulls out, and there's some space. I would have liked if they tiled that and maybe hid some guns in there, but then that's more imagination, so maybe with your own pieces you can hide guns in there. And yeah, that's it for the top floor. So, moving on to this floor right under the floor we looked at the beginning with the Death Star ray. I'm gonna fix that. One of them is missing, but here you have a better look of how it works and how all of these just keep being flipped off. But this was very enjoyable to build and actually pretty frustrating too. But we got these 2 barrels. Nothing in them, sadly. I wish that Leia did include something in them. As you can see, they're completely empty. Though I wish like blasters, like again in the table we could have fit extra blasters, just more play. But the Death Star itself, you can fit 3 figures here. Printed console is a little lever right here that you can pull, and I like how it's glass, so you can see the mechanism in there. That's nice. So works up like this, and you can see how that thing is holding it, and it goes up and down, and some tooth gear pieces, as everyone calls them, as well as the Lego group in there, and one of those see-through glass sort of Technic pieces, and this piece right here, so that's what causes it to go up and down. As you can see, this piece at the top that you spin moves this piece, which moves this piece, which moves this piece, which moves the Death Star ray itself. We got a ladder going up to this sort of platform right here. 3 more sort of printed pieces. Sorry, it's dark in there. And then moving him out of the way. Yeah, you can see the rest of the space in there. Nice getting a lot of printed pieces. But there's a little knob here. And when you turn that, you see the store? Yeah, when you turn that, it opens right up. And then, yeah, so that's nice. It goes in all the way to the wall. And then it can also be pushed out like so. And then, yeah, again, the pieces are old, which is why that wasn't as smooth as it usually is. Like, if you get this brand new, then it would be so smooth. Here's the mouse droid, which we'll take a look at with the figures. And we have some steps going up into that room. Though this room, we have this right here, which is a little panel where you type in a passcode and then it lets you in. And there's an elevator going through the whole thing. We'll look at later. A sticker up there, and then that's like where you enter through the elevator. Here we got some stickered sort of arrow pieces. I just dropped a cart right here. But we can take a look at this build now, I guess. So it has these wheels that move. Just a simple cart. It opens with an old style blaster and a little printed 1x1 right there. But they have 3 crates. Again, nothing in these. That's so disappointing. But you can see all the dust. Sorry about that. Again, an old set. But the play feature, where if you can see at the top of the floor where my finger is right here, lifting the chair up, this knob that I hinted at before, allows this whole thing to move. So yeah, moving Darth Vader's advanced TIE fighter, which we'll take a look at on its own separately later. after we get through the Death Star, this whole thing moves. So yeah, that is a nice build that it just fits in there nicely, the whole TIE fighter. But moving on, I think the Death Star laser is about to take more damage. We have my favorite room, the Emperor's throne room. So we have these sort of railings right here, nice part usage here in that color, some more things here, and then you can see the throne itself has stairs going up to it, moving the royal guards out of the way. And then at the throne we have some printed pieces right here. There's the throne alone, some dark blue flames, nice stickers here and here. But you saw Darth Vader and Luke earlier, and this is a scene from the 6th one, I believe. Just move that lightsaber out of the way. Without connecting it to studs, or you could, but then it wouldn't work as well. You could throw Darth Vader's lightsaber from that scene and then push those in and he'd fall right down. Hopefully he'll always miss that hole right there in the floor. And that's from another scene, the bridge with 2 holes on either side of it right there. That's when, like, spoiler alert for the 6th Star Wars movie, when Darth Sidious is torturing Luke, and then, you know, Darth Vader throws him down one of those holes. And we'll look at the room under that later on in this video. Now here we have the sort of detention cell, basically where they round up the prisoners. Leia was here as we first saw this, but we have some printed pieces again, there and there. Try to turn this one around. That's a stickered piece, and then this one is another stickered piece. We have Hun right there, and then we have another one of those keypads, and they use a very nice effect here, moving Luke. They just have light, and then they use a lot of these angled pieces, slowly narrowing, and more stickered pieces there and there, as you can see inside this hallway. And then they use a sticker to make it look like it's really long, to very good effect. But here we have a door right here, where if you turn this door opens up to go into Princess Leia's cell, and for more easier access, this whole door can be pulled out. And you can see that this is hard because a lot of these pieces keep falling everywhere, but this is like one of those security cameras which can move in all different directions. But here we have Leia, the Interrogation Droid, which we'll look at later, her little bench. And I don't like that piece in bright red, you know, it just gives it away too much, as Lego does a lot with sets. But that's it for this 2nd floor, so let's take a look at the 3rd. So here's the 3rd floor right under this right here, the Death Star Ray. We got a gunner here with 2 chairs, so 2 figures can operate this. And it's a nice build. The whole thing does spin up. Sorry, try to get a bit more light in there. That's where, you know, it would go off. Some Technic pieces and a wire right here. But what you do is when you push this, that thing shoots out. That's the old style Technic. The new one uses spring-loaded shooters, which works better, but I'm happy to get this because now it's kind of hard to find one more time. Yeah, and that thing will shoot very far. So here we have a crane assembly, which we could look at now. And the whole thing can be opened like so. Uses some of the droid parts in gray and closed up. And yeah, it can fold in. We have a little operating chair off to the side right there. So yeah, you can see that a bit. He has a little lever right there again. Those have nothing in it, sadly, again, but more lights. And here we have a working elevator. So you wide this up, and it puts the minifigure up to this platform where Darth Vader's advanced tires, and then you do it the opposite way. And then, of course, the figure right here comes down. And the reason I was pulling it was, well, it's my fault, and it's kind of embarrassing. I tied it wrong, so that's why. I'm going to fix it one of these days. But we have some of those caution printed stickers right there, which is nice. And then a rack with 4 guns, so extra play value there. We have ladders up here, and then more ladder here. And then we have this room where Luke and Leia swing across. I covered a Lego Star Wars news video. Go check that out, where they re-released this in Death Star Escape. But this is the room right under the Emperor's throne room. So if we take Emperor Palpatine here, I can't find him, but if you take Darth Vader and drop him through one of those holes, that's where he falls, or through the farther hole, he falls down through here. So anyway, what you'd do here is you'd have him swing across, and then get to the other side, and then you're supposed to have stormtroopers up here. Nice to get this roof detailing, so that works out pretty well. Moving on, we have Obi-Wan peeking around here, R2-D2 wondering what he's doing. And then this is the shield generator, I believe it was. I can't remember exactly, but you know, you can move these knobs to pretend he's actually doing something, and those translucent pieces to show sort of energy or tech. But here is another one of my favorite rooms in this whole ship. It's the trash compactor. There's something I did show you though in this place right here. Yeah, 2 Han Solos in the set, but this right here, where they shoot this panel, you can turn the knob and it opens up. And then when you take a figure and drop it through there, going down into this room, yep, it falls right into the trash compactor. That's perfect. So we have the monster that we never see the full body, only the head right here, and pretty nicely built. You know, I like getting that elephant trunk piece in that tan color, and yeah, we never saw this, so I can't tell you if it's accurate or not, but we have Chewie in there as well, a bunch of sort of trash, and then moving all those pieces away. Some of them, like these are pipes, are actually pretty useful to get, but we have some tiling in there, and then a door back there, but I like how these have tiling on the side. I think that was a nice touch, but the main thing I want to show you is that these, by pushing this, close all that way, and then they open this way. Though something that isn't too nice is when you put this here and then push it. Or actually, I like this a lot. I accidentally said is it too nice, but look at that. You can actually, with the trash included in the set, yeah, trash included in the set, sort of hold the thing, but then yeah, it can jam it completely, which is nice, I think, and then pull it to make them sort of come out. But I'm actually going to close it because there's this thing right here off to the side. Moving R2-D2, we have a support column right here. But by pulling this right here to this side, it causes this thing to slide out. And now I'm going to do that from a different angle right here. The door moves out, and you can see it's just a gap. So that knob I showed you earlier in the sort of droid repair room right there has a string system that can move the elevator. Yeah, it's a working elevator. So it can move the elevator up and down. We see droids, we see Luke sort of just staying back there. But the elevator can be moved down. Yeah, I just wanted to check the progress. And then, yeah, there it is. So you can also pretend that that's just like the crossway between not only an elevator, like the crossway between sections. And then, yeah, that's it for this floor. Let's take a look at the bottom one. So the bottommost floor doesn't really count. We have some crates right there, an empty space right here. This space where Luke is sort of hanging, and then some more crates, and then a hole for the elevator. So yeah, I guess that there's not much going on right there. But you know, the elevator itself, tried to get that to the bottom again, maybe get you a view of it once it reaches the bottom. Okay, so here's the elevator, and this piece can be removed like so. I don't think they intend that, but yeah, that's the whole elevator back there, which can connect everything. So yeah, you know, this piece, I don't think they recommend you doing this, where what I did, where I just like took it off, but you know, it is something doable. It's Lego, so everything can be disconnected, and then we have these nice pieces right here. But that's it for the Death Star. So yeah, let's take a look at all the figures because there's so many. So there are 22 figures, I believe, in this set. So we're going to be taking looks at them in pairs of 2. So starting off with the good guys, we have 2 Lukes. The first Luke from episode 4, then from episode 6, Jedi Luke. So this Luke over here looks okay. This is when Lego used the lighter color of hair, and that hair piece is so inaccurate, but this is an old figure. He doesn't even have pupils and no alternate face. So he's pretty whatever, but Jedi Luke is nice. You know, he has that lightsaber in green right there, a glove over his robotic hand, and then no leg printing, but nice printing right there, and then no alternate face. And then the faces between the two are the same with no pupils. Here we have Han and Chewie, and weirdly enough, he did have, this one does have pupils. And then it's just the printing we've always gone to. He has nothing underneath, just this, and it's the old version, which I miss seeing gone. It's the version that wasn't so dark like the new one. And then Han's alternate face doesn't have one. Yeah, I don't think any of these do. Maybe Emperor Palpatine was, but that's it for these. Next up, we have episode 4, Leia and C-3PO. No leg printing, though the printing on her chest piece is accurate. Nice hair bun piece right there. And then no pupil. So yeah, these figures are looking weird because of no pupil. So good update in the next one though. No leg printing here. So the old styled C-3PO. And R2-D2 is included, and he's the old style. You can see just the regular gray, some white. And here's the back. I wish that they have back printing nowadays. Like, this was 2008, so I understand. But now they really should have it. But yeah, the pieces that go together, which are 4 to make this, which we've always had, I still think are really accurate to the character. I figured a good way to switch into the bad guys, because we're done with all the good guys, except old Ben, which I'm sort of saving for last, was to show the disguised version of Luke and Han Solo as Stormtroopers. And you saw the 2 helmets in the set itself on the droid repair room. So you can fit Stormtrooper helmets over them, and there you go. 2 more Stormtroopers with Angry Clone not under the helmets, as so many people hate. But the good thing about this is that when you have these 2 versions of them, or really the versions that aren't disguised, then you could have like 4 Stormtroopers after them. So that's nice. And I showed these 2 guys, so let's take a look at them. They're the exact same, except, yes, thankfully, just black heads, not Angry Clone. In my opinion, that's a lot better than Angry Clone as well. So yeah, they're pretty nice. For the Imperial Droids, we have an astromech here like R2-D2, except in black and nice sort of bronze coloring. And we have this little mouse droid, which is just a little assembly with sort of implemented wheels that don't actually rotate. We also have a sort of black version of C-3PO, a protocol droid right here, and this one looks okay. The printing on the torso doesn't just look old for Star Wars, but funny to me. It looks like it's from an old movie, specifically Star Wars, right? That just looks like how it did very much in the movie. Nice to get that head in black though. We got the Interrogation Droid right here. And yeah, just brick built all around and some torture weapons. Then we have this droid body, but then brick built head. So yeah, good. Here are 2 Death Star gunners. Very nice figures. No leg printing, but very elegant, in my opinion, torsos right there. And no back torso printing. But then we have the straps on their heads and no alternate faces, but these nice helmet pieces as well. So yeah, very nice to get these Death Star gunners. Here we have 2 Royal Guards, no leg printing. They have these spears, these nice sort of head pieces that go over mono heads right here. And the older, and you can see the torso print right there. And the older style of cape, the more hard one that's less easy for me to show you back torso printing with these. But yeah, no back torso printing. But yeah, if you like move that in the way I did, usually those damage. Here we have Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. This is the old Darth Vader without the new 2-piece helmet. No leg printing for each of these. A good print for Darth Vader right there. The helmet, it's the old one. That face print is very bad. In my opinion, no alternate face, of course. And then moving this, the older style, there's nothing. But this is like the older style too. But he has the hood piece and then that print right in there on his torso, but that face actually looks very good, and I'll talk about that more in a second. Just want to check if there is back. Yep, no back torso printing, but this is very, very interesting to me, moving the hood so we can have a better look. That torso print is face print is very nice in my opinion, and it's gray in the black eyes. Now, this is a 2008 set, a 2018 set, Darth Vader's 17 set, Darth Vader's transformation 7 years later, has better leg printing and torso printing, a better cape, better back printing. No back printing on this one either, but the head itself this one looks way more accurate. Just look, for some reason they chose to do him in this weird, inaccurate yellow. Sure, he has the alternate face and all, but this 2008, 9-year predecessor is done a lot better, in my opinion, which was sort of funny to me. The last two figures are Grand Admiral Tarkin, and right here we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Old Ben. So neither of them have leg printing. Nice classic torso printing for him. No pupils and no alternate face, as I remembered. And then here we have Obi-Wan, his lightsaber. There, that face print right there, putting the hood back on, the old style cape with no back torso print. Almost forgot to show this, the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, but little side note, which got me so excited when I first opened the box, they have revealed all the figures first, and that was really nice of them to do, in my opinion. I love getting the figures first, but here we have these sort of wings that you angle nicely, so those look good. They have the right curve, not tiled over, which I don't think is a big problem, or even a problem at all. They use these nice pieces to connect the wings. Here's how the bottom looks, and it looks okay. We have the back right here. This thing definitely looks accurate, and I think it looks very sleek. We have this printed piece which opens up. Darth Vader can't fit in there with some difficulty, his lightsaber can't fit in there. And then let's see if we can even get his cape in there. Okay, thank goodness. I didn't know that opened up. It's been a while since I've used this, but yeah, you can see just how hard it is to get him in there. Maybe it would be easier if we just took the cape right off. Normally I would cut this, but I just want you guys to see just how difficult it is to get him in there. So there we go. Get his head in and close that up. So yeah, at least he still can fit in there. But yeah, I think that you don't need that, because most of the time it's going to be closed. You just see it like this, and I think for what it is, it looks very nice. So this set was definitely done well. I like how it says 14 plus. They would have easily nowadays put the 16 plus on it, and it looks pretty nice actually. The set just on display, I think, even though people will complain that it's not entirely closed up right there, I think that the Death Star still looks good on display, because people can come in, look at all the inside fun spaces to it, and then I think that it's a good set overall. Great selection of figures. Obviously the new figures are better. The new one was done like 9 years after this, so of course they're gonna be better, or sorry, 8 years after this. But yeah, I'm sorry for the set review not being as good as usual, because it's a huge set. I could barely fit it in my studio. But that's it for this review. I hope you like it. Please subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll talk to you again soon. And I think the next video I'm going to do is reviewing Lego Ninjago City. That's the last set I have to review that I own. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Bye.